Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press Evening Podcast for May 24th, 2025. Firstly, our attention turns to the evolving situation in Ukraine, where the Trump administration's stance has sparked a significant debate about European security and stability. The United States' traditional role as a leader in maintaining regional balance is being questioned, leaving many to wonder if Europe will have to forge a new path without its transatlantic partner. Secondly, we bring you a heart-wrenching report from the Gaza Strip, where a family of 10 is on the brink of starvation. This devastating story underscores the dire humanitarian situation in the region and the urgent need for food, shelter, and medical aid to prevent further suffering and loss of life. Lastly, disturbing allegations have surfaced that Israeli soldiers are systematically using Palestinian civilians as human shields, a practice strictly prohibited by international law. Despite denials from the Israeli military, eyewitness accounts from both Palestinians and Israeli soldiers suggest this tactic has become commonplace during the conflict. The United Nations has reiterated its call for increased humanitarian aid to Gaza and an immediate ceasefire. These stories remind us of the complexities and challenges in the Middle East and the need for collective action to promote peace, protect civilians, and address the humanitarian crises unfolding in the region. We will continue to provide updates and analysis on these developing stories. Thank you for joining us tonight on the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Until next time, good night. Now, for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, President Trump's administration has announced plans to impose tariffs on the European Union, reigniting concerns about a potential trade war. This move has been met with criticism from European leaders and analysts, who warn that it could lead to retaliatory measures and harm American businesses. In another development, Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan met with Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara in Istanbul, marking a significant step towards improved relations between the two countries. The meeting discussed the potential disarmament and integration of the Syrian Kurdish YPG militant group into Syrian security forces, as well as the lifting of sanctions on Syria by the US and EU. Finally, we've been following the Trump administration's personnel changes, including the purge of dozens of National Security Council officials, which has raised questions about the stability and effectiveness of the administration's foreign policy team. These developments highlight the complex and rapidly evolving nature of international relations and trade. At the AI Daily Press, we're committed to providing you with balanced and unbiased reporting, helping you make sense of the news that matters most. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you again soon. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm your host, Louis. We have a packed show for you tonight with updates on global news, market analysis, and expert insights. First, we take a look at the international front, where we've been following developments in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The situation remains fluid, but our sources indicate that diplomatic efforts are underway to find a peaceful resolution. In market news, we saw a mixed bag today, with some stocks experiencing gains while others face challenges. Our market expert has been analyzing the trends and will share their insights on what this means for investors. We also have updates on two insurance stocks that caught our attention: Fidelis Insurance Holdings and Jackson Financial. Both companies have been navigating unique challenges, but their paths forward are paved with opportunity. We'll dive into the details of why we believe these stocks are worth watching. And finally, we'll take a closer look at the Indian market, where KS International has filed its draft red herring prospectus for an initial public offering. This move is seen as a positive development and could provide a much-needed boost to the capital goods sector. Throughout the show, we'll be joined by our expert analysts who will share their perspectives on these stories and more. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of news and finance. Don't forget, as I always say, don't panic when faced with market volatility. Instead, take a step back, assess the situation, and look for opportunities to capitalize on undervalued stocks. That's all for now. Let's get started, and we'll see you again soon. Good evening, and happy investing! Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Lewis. Firstly, we looked at the discovery of a mysterious star over 1,000 light-years away, which emitted two brief, identical pulses of light. Scientists are currently investigating this phenomenon, considering explanations ranging from natural astrophysical events to the possibility of extraterrestrial technology. Secondly, we explored the recent claim that an ancient Chinese star catalog, known as the Shi star catalog, may be the oldest of its kind. However, this assertion has sparked debate among historians and astronomers, with some questioning the accuracy of the instruments used to record the celestial observations. Lastly, we delved into the detection of a mysterious object in the universe, which was observed during an optical SETI survey, monitoring over 5,300 stars for signs of alien signals. While the discovery has generated excitement, it's essential to approach such findings with a balanced perspective and rigorous scientific scrutiny. These stories not only highlight the complexities and mysteries of the universe, but also demonstrate humanity's boundless curiosity and drive to explore and understand the cosmos. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the stars. Until next time, goodbye, and let's keep looking up at those stars with wonder and curiosity. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. I'm your host, Howard. Tonight, we're going to take a brief look at some of the top stories making waves in the world of sports. First off, we have the Texas A&M baseball team's tough loss to Auburn in the SEC tournament, which has left their postseason hopes uncertain. Meanwhile, Auburn is looking to bolster its roster with significant recruitment moves, including an invitation for four-star quarterback Landon Duckworth to compete in the prestigious Elite 11 finals. In other news, NASCAR fans are abuzz with Kyle Busch's return to Richard Childress Racing, while Pete Crow Armstrong has made history with the Chicago Cubs by recording his second 6 RBI game. The U.S. men's hockey team has also reached the World Championship final, marking one of their best performances in recent memory. And finally, Ronald Acuna Jr. has made a triumphant return to the Braves after a year-long absence, hitting a long homer on his very first pitch. We'll be keeping an eye on all these stories and more as they continue to unfold. That's all for tonight, folks. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the world of sports. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and remember that in the ever-changing landscape of athletics, tomorrow always brings a new story waiting to unfold. Good night, and we'll see you again soon. And as I always say, the power of athletics is not just about wins and losses, but about the human spirit, its capacity to persevere, innovate, and inspire. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Currell.
Thank you, Howard. First, we took a thrilling look at the world of professional cycling with a report on the latest developments in the sport. Unfortunately, that story isn't available tonight, but instead, we bring you updates from the world of sports, manufacturing, and rural revitalization. In our first story, we delved into the high-stakes world of professional cycling, but due to unforeseen circumstances, we shifted gears to explore the exciting world of manufacturing. We visited a state-of-the-art facility where a company is producing innovative components for the automotive and aerospace industries. Next, we traveled through the heartland of America to examine the changing face of rural communities. From Ohio to Iowa to Texas, we met entrepreneurs, farmers, and community leaders who are working tirelessly to revitalize their towns, create jobs, and preserve local history and culture. Lastly, we reported on an American manufacturing success story, highlighting Honda's efforts in producing hybrid vehicles and creating new opportunities for workers in the industry. These stories showcase the resilience, determination, and innovation that define America. From the factory floor to the farm fields, people are coming together to build a brighter future for themselves and their communities. That's all for tonight's special report. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the heart of America. Until next time, I'm Charles Curl, and this is the AI Daily Press. Good night and farewell. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. Tonight, we're recapping the latest news and entertainment. First up, Miley Cyrus isn't topping the charts like she used to, but her upcoming album Something Beautiful may just change that. We'll be keeping an eye on it. Next, the 78th Annual Cannes Film Festival is underway. Lastly, music legends Queen and newcomer Morgan Wallen are making waves on the Billboard charts. Queen's compilation album Greatest Hits saw a significant spike in sales, while Morgan Wallen's latest single debuted at #1 on country streaming songs and country digital song sales charts. That's all for tonight's podcast. Thanks for joining me, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David AIDaNature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we explored the remarkable discovery of how penguin guano is supercharging cloud formation in Antarctica, with significant implications for our understanding of atmospheric chemistry and climate regulation. This study highlights the intricate relationships between wildlife, ecosystems, and the global climate. In our second story, we delved into the devastating consequences of invasive species on local ecosystems, as seen in the case of bullfrogs preying on native western pond turtles in Yosemite National Park. However, we also learned that removing these invasive species can lead to a significant comeback of native populations. Lastly, we ventured into the underwater world, where scientists discovered that penguin guano is not only affecting cloud formation, but also has a profound impact on atmospheric ammonia levels. This, in turn, influences the rate at which sulfuric acid from phytoplankton forms cloud particles, potentially leading to a cooling effect on the planet. These stories remind us of the complex and delicate balance of our Earth's systems and the vital roles that wildlife plays in regulating our climate. As we continue to navigate the challenges of environmental change, it's essential to stay curious about the wonders of our planet and the creatures that call it home. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of science and discovery. And until next time, good night. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David AIDaNature for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.